Honk.
What is up, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to the channel. My special guest today is Hannah Defler, who played Lexi DeMarco in Cobra Kai Season 4. Hannah, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Like, your character played quite an interesting role, specifically with Nate. And obviously, there's something I found out about a funny scene that got cut with Nate apparently was blowing a kiss to you, which is hilarious. We'll obviously talk about that a little bit later, but I want to kind of understand what got you to kind of start this journey with being involved in acting. And I understand you're a Sony Music U rep as well, so obviously that's quite a big deal being with the Sony family in that sense.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Yeah.
No, sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, so getting into acting, I have always wanted to do it since I was in about 5th grade. Me, my mom, and my sister did like extra acting on the movie Lawless with Shia LaBeouf, and that was the coolest experience. And it kind of got me more into, wanting to get into this industry. And it was all about like, I feel like nowadays it's all about who you know and just being in the right place at the right time. And I feel like I got kind of lucky in that sense with this because obviously acting, it's hard. I mean, it takes time. So I'm still working on it and still, hoping to get where I want to be one day. But with Cobra Kai, at least, I had been an extra for a couple days and we had gotten to the prom after party scene, and I was just kind of standing by the fireplace, I believe, which is where Hawk was going to be. So I was just kind of standing there, and I was going to be like holding like a red Solo cup. And then I remember one of the ADs was like looking at me, and I was like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what is this about? So he pulled me aside and was like, you're going to be Lexi DeMarco. And I was like, I don't know who that is, but okay. Like, okay, cool. And so when that happened, I was just kind of like, okay. And they're like, you're Nate State. And I was like, okay. Like, I had just started watching the show when we were filming season 4 because my little brother was obsessed with it. So I was like, okay. I'll watch it. Like, I mean, it's probably good. And then I watched the whole season the whole first season within like 2 days of filming as an extra for the first time. So I got obsessed with it, of course, like who doesn't? But yeah, I feel like it was like a really cool experience just to even get involved with Cobra Kai because it's such a good show with great people. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I couldn't have said it better. This show is just so phenomenal. I mean, I got hooked on it during the YouTube days. Was fortunate to find it there, and I mean, I don't know how many people were sleeping on the show at the time, but when you don't normally go on YouTube Red going, okay, what's on this I'll watch? Am I gonna check out a good show? No, it's either Netflix, Prime, or HBO, Apple TV, all this stuff. So like, yeah, you must have already known like how big of a deal it was with season 4 because this show transitioned to Netflix by then, and like you said, your brother was a big fan. I assume you did watch the films before, right? Like the original Karate films.
Right.
So like, yeah, did you, in a sense, how did it feel to be part of a universe that's such a big deal to so many people? Because this stems back like to 30 years ago, so like this is a very big deal.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. Like, seriously, I know my mom had like a Ralph Macchio poster in her room when she was younger. So like getting to be around like him and Billy and just all of the actors as a whole was just so surreal because you're like, I feel like it's almost like you're getting to live in that world and you don't realize how special that is until you're there and you're like in the moment. And it is it's crazy. And I'm so thankful for that because I feel like not even just being an extra and like background, like you're still getting that same experience and you're getting to watch these actors like in real time do what they love to do and getting to play their like characters and just see how that counteracts. So it's super amazing.
Right. Yeah. So what was it like first time meeting the cast? Because obviously you were, like you said, involved in the after party scenes, prom. I even saw you and Reagan in the corner at the All Valley. So that's really cool. You were part of that as well. But yeah, who did you kind of get to meet at first when you were
Yeah.
first on set?
So my first day on set was actually during it was the cheer and soccer and gymnastics scene that we saw in season 4. So I was actually in the gymnastics scene with Piper.
Oh, okay.
So I got to meet, obviously, Xolo, who plays Miguel, and then I got to meet Billy, who plays Johnny. So that was really cool. They were like the main two people, Piper's character. So that was really cool. I know Xolo was like really just like a fun guy. Like he was just like having fun when he was like not on camera and just like he had so much energy all the time. And I'm like, I don't know how, because you're filming every single day, all these long hours, but
Yeah.
it just like it translates over to us because like it's bringing us that energy as well and like making us want to be there even more. So they were really fun to me. And then the prom scene, like the actual prom scene, I met Jacob because I was standing next to his table during one of the takes when we were just gonna like walk by or whatever.
Yeah.
He was super nice, like very like personable, like wants to like get to know you and like make sure you're having fun and all that. So they're all so nice and just like really want you to have a good time when you're there.
Yeah, like it must have been cool to meet those guys. And like you said, the energy, I assume if I was on set, like it would be one of the most important things. Because like I've said to like a lot of you guys have told me that you guys when you're on set, like the family spirit and just generally the presence of everybody is so like warming and welcoming. Like that's definitely something you hope to have on every set you go onto, right?
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, like I've heard Jacob in particular. I was speaking to Curtis Bonds Baker a while ago about because he does obviously the principal photographer. You might know that already. He was saying Jacob is somebody that doesn't stay still on set. Like sometimes he is an absolute clown, and like you said, Cholo with that energy, they're just there to enjoy it. Apart from when they're acting, so like that's great that they really just enjoy what they're doing rather than obviously take things too seriously. Obviously, you got to be professional, but
Exactly.
it's important
Right.
to have a balance, right? You got to have fun even when
Exactly.
you're working.
Exactly. You wanna have fun, and I mean, they wanna have just as much fun as we're having, right? Like, yeah, they're like the main people in this, scene, but, like, they're there to have a good time too and to make memories, so it's really cool to see that.
For sure. So literally, so you said you're an actress, of course, but like with the Sony music side of things, talk to me a little bit about that and how that come to be.
Yeah. So for Sony Music, I actually started with them about a year ago in January. So 2021, that's fun. And so what I am is a college marketing representative. So I actually am in college still. I'm a junior. And what we do is basically we work alongside artists to help them kind of get their songs out there more. So for instance, like Tate McRae just had a song come out. So we're trying to promote that in the best way possible. And it's really cool to see. And I didn't realize that Cobra Kai was a Sony Pictures film before filming on it for the first time. And
Mm.
as I realized that, I was like, oh, like I work for Sony Music kind of as a college marketing rep. So like that's
Yeah.
really cool to see how that ties in because it's like working together and it's just a really cool experience to like see all of that like happening at once.
Yeah, I saw the connection with Sony. So I don't know if it played a part with you coming onto the show, but like that would have been that's cool. You found out like,
Right?
oh yeah, this show was a Sony production.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool then. So like you're basically kind of helping younger artists like come through and sort of getting their footing in a sense. Is that what you kind
Right.
of do?
Yeah. So we have artists like we have done on obviously like in-person campus activations. So I've had like a smaller artist come to my college and I basically took them around and, took them to fraternities and had them like party with them and get like video content so that they could post it on their socials. And not
That's
only
cool.
that, but yeah, we could post it on ours too to like kind of cross promote in a way.
I've heard you. One of your favorite singers is you said Tate McRae, but like Miley Cyrus. So like, have you
Yeah.
ever got the chance to meet her?
I wish. So I actually went to Music Midtown this year in Atlanta, and she was performing. So that was really cool to see because growing up, like I watched Hannah Montana on Disney Channel.
Right.
So like, just seeing her throughout the years and like I feel like I grew up with Miley Cyrus. So I think that'd be a really cool experience. And I'm not saying that I never will meet her because who knows,
Yeah, never
especially with
say never.
Sony. So, I mean, I think that'd be very cool. But yeah, she is such a great singer.
So did you there must have been, I don't know if you're into country singing, but there must have been some sort of appeal when you saw Carrie Underwood in the All Valley, because obviously people weren't sure about who the mystery guest is, but they brought her out, obviously people were excited. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, how did you feel about that?
I was so excited. I like am a huge Carrie Underwood fan. Like listen to her music all the time. My mom loves her music. Everybody in my family is big Carrie Underwood fans. Because
Oh,
we
they
all
must have
watched.
got so a bit jealous, right? Like,
Right?
oh,
I
Hannah,
know.
what?
Right. Because, like, after we filmed that day, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is such a big, like, secret to keep. Like, I know, like, because there's so many people there, and I was terrified that somebody was going to, like, let it out in some way. But everybody kept it. So that was really good. But I remember texting my mom, and I was like, you will not believe who just sang for us on filming today. And I was like, you're going to lose your mind when you actually see it on film. But it was so cool. And it was really surreal. I like didn't actually believe that she was standing like only a like couple feet in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, like kind of fangirling, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard she was great, and like, she was taking photos of people, when she had the chance, and just chilling with people, which was really cool. But did you get to meet her?
I didn't personally get to meet her. We kind of had to stay like in the background tent usually at all
Right.
times just to make sure that, COVID protocols and everything. But that would have been really cool. But yeah, I heard a lot of people did get to meet her and she was super sweet though.
Right. So like in season 4, you're involved in, like you said, the episode with Miguel and Johnny. They're looking for recruits, obviously Piper. Then you're involved in Prom, After Party, then All Valley. Okay, this is a difficult question, but what part would you say was the most fun to do? Because this all
Ooh,
very interesting parts of season 4 that you were involved in those ways.
right. Honestly, I feel like the prom after party was one of the most fun. And I don't know everybody's opinion on that was filming that day, but it was just like the memories that were made because these were night shoots. So we had 2 back-to-back night shoots and they started, I believe, at like 7 at night and went to about
Hmm.
4 in the morning.
I heard it
And
was really
sleeping
cold as
outside,
well.
oh my gosh. It was so cold. It was like 30 degrees and we're in California, so we have to pretend like it's like really hot outside. So,
Yeah.
you can't be cold, like no. But it
Nah.
was so much fun because we would make each other like laugh all the time. And I met so many like really amazing people that I'm still friends with now. So that's really awesome. And just getting to watch the fight scene happen too, that was really cool. Watching them jump in the water, I was like, y'all are brave because I don't know how y'all are doing that. But yeah, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I remember seeing your reaction to, I think it's when like Miguel, Sam, and Tori like fall in. And like, because you have like some of the Cobras in front of you, and then Stingray goes, "This is the best time I love." And he like jumps in. Yeah,
Yes.
that was actually really funny. Like seeing Paul as well, because he's hilarious.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, he was so fun to watch. Just he's a character, like seriously, like I feel like just watching him act is so fun because it's a lot of it is like improv. Like he's just throwing things out there. Like
yeah,
you never know what he's gonna say, right? But it's so fun.
yeah, he's just naturally funny. I mean, the scene when he was like beating up his neighbor inside, everyone's going Stingray. That was hilarious. Yeah, like those scenes in particular, the prom after party, they were really good. Um, like this show has so many crazy things about it, but when you were watching it, what was it that drew you into it? Because I know you said you'd watched it after become an extra, but like what was it that you enjoyed about it?
You know, I One of the main things to me was how Miguel just kind of started out as like this kid that didn't really have a lot to him. You know, he was kind of, he had to grow as a character, I feel like. And just seeing Johnny like help him do that was like super empowering because I grew up like as a cheerleader. Like I cheered my whole life. And I kind of feel like I went through the same stage in that sense. Like I started out being this like, you know, I was okay. I wasn't great and I had to grow and my coach helped me do that. So it was kind of like it correlated in a sense and I was like, this is cool. Like, and I've always thought karate was cool, but I never think that like I would be good at doing that. So like just like watching other people do it, I'm like, ooh, like yeah, like I don't know if this is good or bad, but like it looks cool. So I mean, it's fun to watch. So
So seeing the combat, especially when you saw the little fights at the after party, because you were actually there. So like, did you ever feel like, oh, I really want to like try some sort of martial arts or karate because it seems really fun?
right, yeah. So like getting to watch it, I'm just like, I've always wanted to try it. I think it'd be so fun and
Yeah.
definitely like would love to take some like karate classes just for fun and just see like how it is because I know Gianna's doing it right now and it looks so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think just trying it out would be really cool. I think the stunt team, like I think that's a lot of fun. They put a lot of work into all everything that they do. So getting to watch all that play out is really cool.
Yeah, the stunt team outdid themselves this year. Like it was amazing. The fights you saw, like All Valley, for example, and uh, it was chaotic and it was amazing because it was like during COVID. Did you find things like? Did you think it was easy to adapt to the COVID situation whilst you were filming? Because I know like a lot of the guys on set were saying about obviously the testing every other day and putting stuff up your nose can be really annoying. But like, how did you find that? Like,
Right.
just to film during the pandemic and obviously just being able to do something like season 4.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, to me, I was just thankful that it was still happening because I know a lot of films had to just completely stop production for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, getting COVID tested, not the most fun in the world, but you do what you got to do, right? And
Yeah.
when we were filming on set, the mask thing, it wasn't hard either. You know, they say rolling, you take your mask off, and then as soon as it's cut, mask back on because you're around so many people and you want to keep everybody safe. But I mean, it wasn't too hard to manage. I think that as long as you stayed positive and had a good attitude about it, you were good to go.
Right. Yeah. I remember Reagan was saying, like, in one of the scenes, I think she still had a mask on. Well, actually, it might have been Sabrina that said that. But, like, one of them had the mask on
Yeah.
and they were still rolling. And I was like, oh, sorry. Like, I had my mask on.
The
So, you know,
amount of times that that happened to somebody on set, it was, like, crazy. Just because it's so easy to forget because you just have it on all the time, like, when you're there. Because they're long days, you're so used to having it on that sometimes it's just you forget. It's so natural to forget.
right. Like, especially with the protocols, you can't, like, break those. And, yeah, it must be quite annoying when you have to, you're not sure, or you don't want to, like, be the one without the mask, so you have to kind of take that precaution. But
Right.
yeah, I can definitely see that being a little bit annoying at times. Um, so that prom scene, yeah, let's talk about that scene that we didn't get to see but heard about. So so Lexi DeMarco, I heard she's not just the prom date. Is she the actual girlfriend to Nate then?
I believe so. It was kind of like a confusing, but like it never really I feel like was fully stated if
Right.
she was the girlfriend, but it was kind of like I don't know. It's confusing, right? So
I just love the fact that Bert and Nate went from, you're talking about how Miguel grew. They were like the little kids in, season 1, season 2. Nate came in season 2, I think. Um, and then just seeing them now, and then they've got prom dates,
right?
girlfriends. It's like, wow, like it's
Yeah.
so funny just saying that. But there was this scene with Nate, so he was blowing a kiss towards you. If you just don't mind, like, kind of talking about the scene.
Yeah, so this was the tournament scene. So we were there. I actually filmed this the first day of the 2 weeks that we were filming the tournament scene. So when they told me this, I was kind of like what? Like I'm actually doing something? Like that's cool. Um, but we were I was sitting in the bleachers, and basically it was going to be Nate after he won one of his like skills competition fights, and he blows a kiss to Lexi, and you can actually see him blow a kiss at the very end of the skills thing. I know it goes really fast, so if you have to like really pay attention, but you can kind of see him like go like that. And I was going to be in the stands just kind of like blowing a kiss back and like laughing at my friends that were around me.
Oh, that's a shame we didn't see that. That would have been great because you always have a bit of humor from Nate and Bert, or maybe seeing them both do it. That would have been really
Right.
funny. But yeah, thanks for letting us know that, because a lot of people
Yeah.
were kind of weren't sure how it went down. But yeah, that's quite funny. But yeah, that's the thing with Cobra Kai. Like, I feel like they do really pay attention to the details. Like, if you do look carefully at certain things, you're like, oh, I noticed something there. Didn't see that before. It kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know if you're into Marvel or you're
Oh
big
yeah.
on things like that. All the little details there, especially if you're quite nerdy. You're like, okay, what's there? Okay, I need to go back. I need to see that.
Right.
So, like, obviously Cobra Kai is such a big deal. It's part of the Karate Kid universe. But if you could be a part of any other universe or anything in particular that interests you, like any show or film, what would that be?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I think Stranger Things is really cool too. I know I think just like Millie Bobby Brown is so good, but also like any type of Marvel show or like movie. Like I think
Yeah.
Marvel's like so much fun. Like the new Spider-Man movie just has me all Marvel. I'm like, okay, couldn't
Yeah.
get better than that. But yeah.
Right. I think there was someone, I think his name's Carson. He was involved in season 4 and Spider-Man. And I'm like, you lucky son of a he's like part of the two of my favorite things. It's like, yeah, Spider-Man, wow. What did you think of the film just generally? That was crazy, right?
Oh my gosh. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but hopefully everybody has at this point.
I'm sure people would have
Right.
seen it now. I mean, you guys have better have seen it.
Right. But I just think like bringing all of those characters from the past back in, like if you watch the original Spider-Man from a while ago, like the original with like Toby Maguire, like
Yeah.
just bringing in the original characters, I feel like just kind of adds in this some type of like childhood sense to like the film. Like it
Yeah.
just brought back a part of like childhood that like I missed and like needed to see.
Right. Seeing Toby back, holy yeah, that was so amazing. I mean, I watched it on opening night, and I was very fortunate because in the UK we got it 2 days earlier. So just seeing that on opening night, seeing people go crazy, especially seeing Andrew as well, like, because his character obviously didn't get the justice he deserved in a sense with his films, but he was always a great actor with the character. It was nice to see that as well. Do you have a favorite Spider-Man then? Maybe Toby's the one for you?
Ooh, I think mine would be Andrew Garfield,
Oh, okay.
which is I feel like people are so like all over the place when it comes to like their favorite Spider-Man.
Right.
I don't know. I think they all did very good. It's just I guess it's preference at that point. I don't know.
I think it's nice to see him get appreciation like this now, because I always thought Andrew was good, but I
Right.
mean, in some ways, I think he is the best Spider-Man, and like Toby's probably like the best Peter. But like, um, I don't know if you saw, but Andrew is a big fan of Cobra Kai. Did you see that like
Right.
video of the cars? That was so cool
That was
finding that
so
out.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I was not expecting that. It just threw me a surprise. I was like, I looked on my phone one day and I
Right.
saw Cobra Kai posted something and it was Andrew Garfield. And I was like, whoa, like that's really cool.
Yeah, I did not expect that either. When he was like, "Oh, I've been watching Cobra Kai, is like such a great show," I was like, "Wow, that is so cool." Like, uh, how would you feel like just seeing Garfield if? Because I'm hoping he has a cameo in the future. Like, what would you do if you see him on set
Oh my
or just
gosh.
hear that he's going to be in the show?
Yeah, I would major fangirl. I don't know what I would do. I would probably just be like so starstruck that I would not have words, but that would be super cool. And who knows, right? I mean, like That'd be really cool.
Right. So speaking of starstruck and people like you kind of are really amazed by it. Obviously, in this industry, there's so many great names, and in the past, in terms of the actors and actresses we've seen, and anybody that works as a director or on that creative side as well. Uh, Name me a few people that you look up to when as an actress, and just kind of what work has inspired you as in terms of your acting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I honestly, I love all Sarah Jessica Parker films. Anything that she's in, very good. Definitely have looked up to her a lot. There's a lot of people I feel like, oh my goodness. Trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
It's a deep question.
It is. I feel like because I could probably just have so many. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would obviously definitely say Sarah Jessica Parker. She's probably one of my top. And then somebody that I've just kind of looked up to from like my all-time favorite show, and like she's been in a couple things since then, but like I really wish she was in more, is Nina Dobrev. Because I loved Vampire Diaries, and I just like I loved her character in that, but there's just so many people. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult because like you'll I mean, you never know who you meet as well. Like you might really like go, oh my god, I didn't think of it that person in that way. This industry's huge, so you never know who you meet, right?
Right.
um but someone in the stream said they met Sarah Jessica Parker, and they said she was nice.
Oh my
So
god,
very lucky.
that's so cool.
um yeah, like yeah, the thing I love about this show is the people that work on it. And people that you mentioned, they're very humble. I mean, that's definitely something that inspires you to stay who you are. So like, um, with acting, like, what is it about acting that grasps you? Is it like the sense of being able to express creativity in a unique way, in your own way, or is it kind of like you've always wanted to be part of the film industry because film's always had that appeal to you?
Right. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think you learn something new every day that you're on set, no matter if you are like one of the main actors or if you're a background, and just getting that real life experience and corrections. I know every single day that I was there, I was watching the actors and I was taking notes, like when they did something and they were like, they needed to change it in some way, like watching to see how they made the change. And I think that just nobody's perfect in the industry. Everybody messes up, everybody forgets their lines, and just taking note that everybody is a real person and has real emotions and real feelings is so important to like take note of, and just like for me to even just take it in, like that's a real person and they're doing this like, and they're doing such a good job at it, and like it takes time, and being able to be creative in a sense and like have your own like thoughts of what your character should be, and like maybe like what if they did this instead, and kind of just getting opinions on that, I think is really cool too, because creativity is huge in the industry.
Right, like seeing all these different minds and bodies come together to create something, and everybody's got like a sense of stylization and how they do things, and just like no matter if you're an actor or if you're an extra or if you're director,
Right.
so and so, like it's really interesting to see how it all comes together, and they create this like they make this puzzle, and they fit all the pieces together with how they make it and mold it. um like especially Cobra Kai, I love the fact that creators are big fans and of the Karate Kid, and then they just created the show. Um, Based on that, if there's anything you're a big fan of, like if you could create a show based off something that like a franchise that you feel like definitely needs something now, is there anything that hits your mind?
Honestly, I really love like the high school appeal to things. Like I thought about the other day, which is so random, but it just like came to my mind, kind of almost like a story of this. It was kind of related towards my life, but it could be towards probably anybody in high school. But like this girl who, in my sense, like if I'm talking about myself, who, you know, was in high school and was in a huge, like, big popular friend group and was a cheerleader. And, you know, that friend group only used her for, you know, certain things and then completely dropped her. And she's trying to grow in a sense. And she meets her three, like, really, really best friends that just uplift her and keep going through that. And just like correlating like a high school drama to like sports and like seeing how that relates with like family. And because I think Karate Kid kind of does that in a sense because Karate Kid, but Cobra Kai, um because you know you're getting that like little bit of the high school drama and then karate mixed in with it. So I think those type of films just do really good, especially for my age, you know, the younger people and older, like everybody kind of really likes that because they kind of get a sense of maybe how they felt when they were younger or like something that they went through.
Right, like that's definitely something that, like you said, appeals to everyone. Everyone went through school, or the majority of people went through school, and like, you know, it's like, I mean, I don't know if you watched Teen Wolf, but when I was watching that, the high school aspect again was quite fun to watch. Um, that's definitely an element in pretty much many shows, even if it's like something on Disney that's just, you know, something funny, or like something like Sweet Love, Zack and Cody, you know, like
Right.
there's different aspects to it. Like you can go dark with that. You can have, it's very, it's great because it's very broad as well. Like you can do different genres within that, and it fits really well. Um, yeah, this is the thing I love about this show, Cobra Kai, is that it's so mixed genred. And you know, like without all the character interactions, you see different aspects, like, you know, with Nate blowing a kiss to Lexi. Although we didn't see that, just hearing that, it's a comedy aspect of it. Then
Right.
you get the scenes with Johnny and Miguel, this father-son type thing, and just seeing how nice that is. And then the seriousness of Tori and Sam, you know, and their rivalry. It's really interesting. If you could interact with a character you haven't yet in the actual show, who would you love to see Lexi interact with?
Ooh, I think Moon. I think Moon would be really cool because I think technically we'd be the same age in the show because Lexi's a junior. I believe
Yeah.
Moon's a junior too. I think that'd be really cool just to see if they have any type of connection or similarity at all character wise because I think Moon's character is like just she's very calm and I feel like just like that really nice girl that can get along with everybody. And I feel like Lexi would be a very like easy person to get along with too. So just to see if like their characters interacted, like I feel like they would be like friends. Maybe I don't know, maybe not. But I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be a really cool interaction to have.
Do you think Lexi is kind of on the side of like karate is a good thing? Like we need it, or you reckon she's more on the Moon side, like no violence, you know, everybody be peaceful, everybody be chill? Because that would be
Right.
quite interesting to see that.
Yeah. So that's a good question. I feel like since she's well, in the tournament scene, I had like a sign that like I held up that said Miyagi-Do on it, and I feel like I would be for karate. I feel like I probably know nothing about karate, but I'm like, yeah, like it's good. It's, you know, it's a sport, like you're getting active. And I feel like in a way it scares me probably because, you know, it's people can get hurt and that's always the scary thing about sports. But just karate universe, I feel like I would like.
Yeah, like the thing about the karate, I think everyone in the show kind of has that chance to be involved in it, even if excuse me, like even if you're not literally involved in fighting, just the aspect of like Yasmin, Moon, and you know, even like Amanda and Carmen, they're not involved directly, but they're around people that are, and you kind of see
Right.
how they have to deal with that. Like the moral kind of side of things. Like Moon has a clear stance on it, and like, you know, you see how morality um kind of kick in with, yeah, all this and that. I mean, I do respect the fact she tried to kind of stop the beef with a house party, but I think that was the worst idea at the same time because
Right.
It was, I don't know how she's gonna have karate rivals like just talk it out. Like that's
Right.
definitely what fans want, but it's not easy, right?
Yeah, like, oh my goodness. I feel like honestly bringing in those characters at the same time was like, I don't know, like I don't know how this is gonna work. I mean, you never know. Like Sam and Tori, like them together, scary. I would not want to be in a fight with either of them.
Yeah, definitely. They're ferocious. Um, what I'd like to know is what when you see these characters in these arcs, who's one character in particular that either you really relate to and resonate with, or you just really find inspiring, like applying that to your own life?
It's a good question. I really like Sam's character. She's an older sister. I'm an older sister, and I think that she really wasn't in the whole karate mindset at first, and she gets into it in season one, and you see that you know love for it as it grows in her. But I think her character really really grows, just like mentally and physically. And I feel like I could relate to that in a sense, just because like I feel like I've grown like through the sports that I've done, and just like seeing that like change. I just really like her character. I think that she plays it really well. And
Yeah, like Sam's the whole Sam and Tori stuff, people are very one-sided with it each season. Like uh I like Sam from the beginning, and then I found her a little bit annoying with certain things. And then season two, I think I really like Tori, and then it's like, wow, okay, she's a bit too extreme. I don't know how to feel about that. And
right,
then season three, absolutely love Sam, the arc she went through. And then season four, like again, like it's like you're mixed, and then like now Tori is kind of like, oh,
right,
I'm liking Tori again. I love the way they kind of keep you on your toes with those characters because you never know what they're gonna do, right?
exactly, yeah. And I honestly like I feel bad for Tori's character sometimes. Like, she just it seems like she's kind of gone through it and had a hard time. So you feel for that character as well.
Yeah, like I mean, like you said, she's technically 17, a junior in school, and she's looking after her mum, brother. She's providing rent, the food on the table. It's like, wow, that's pretty insane for a 17-year-old. Like that's not
Right.
what a lot like have to deal with. And I guess it just makes you more fortunate. But someone like Sam, obviously, he's had a lot of these privileges where she hasn't had to suffer like that, especially with her family that's so great to her. So yeah, it's nice to see the differences with their characters, but I just want them to squash this beef. But I think by the end of season four, we kind of see Tori respecting Sam based on the whole Amanda stuff. So
Right.
um, that was definitely a surprise in the season. What would you say was the biggest surprise for you from this season? Because I think one of them was definitely the Amanda Tori stuff.
I agree. I was just gonna say that. I think the just seeing that interaction between their characters was really cool. I was not expecting it at all. Like, never knew when that was gonna come or if it was. And I think the way that just Amanda's really just trying to help Tori in a sense is she's being like a mother figure to her that Tori really doesn't have. So I think that's really cool.
Right. Like, it's definitely something surprised me in the sense that Amanda was so against Tori in season three, and they just kind of flip it, flip the script, as Johnny would say. So
Right.
I love that dynamic, and that's just the part of this show, the testament of the writing to kind of keep viewers on their tiptoes. We're gonna get some fan questions now because I see some really good ones I
Oh,
saved.
perfect.
So okay, this is an interesting question from Roundtable. I don't know if you know exactly on this, but what did your character see in Nate?
Oh, that's a good one. I think that Lexi really likes just I think Nate's just like that nice guy. And, you see him kind of like pick on Dallas's character a little bit, which is funny.
Yeah,
But I think that she just likes the sweetness to him and how like he's younger. So sometimes like maybe she like likes younger guys. I guess like she probably just goes for the younger guys because she knows it's easier than the older ones.
right. Yeah, this is something I actually didn't ask you, which I couldn't need to ask. I always ask this to cast members because it always intrigues me because of the dojo rivalry and just seeing the different dojos. If you as yourself as Hannah would choose a dojo to join and take up karate, which out of the three that we know best would you go to?
Gosh, as much as I would love to see myself in Cobra Kai, because I think that would be such a fun dojo to be in.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's very Hannah, just because I'm like sweet and I like want everybody to like be happy, and I feel like I'd be Miyagi-Do, just because I really like Daniel's approach to everything and the styles he teaches. So I think I'd be Miyagi-Do just because of my personality.
Right. You need the balance. You definitely need that.
Exactly,
The
right?
Miyagi flow. I kind of think Lexi would as well because
I
I
think
mean
so.
I feel like it might be a little biased because of her date and her boyfriend being Nate. Like you might think, okay, Miyagi-Do all the way, and she, like you said, she was holding a Miyagi-Do thing. So I think
Right. Like I feel like if she wasn't Miyagi-Do with her boyfriend, that'd just be kind of weird. So
right, yeah. It would be kind of weird if she was just to suddenly go, "Oh, Cobra Kai, yeah, they won the tournament."
right?
Nate's like, "It's over. I'm done."
Yeah, he's like, no more.
Okay, this is a tough one. What was your favorite episode from all 4 seasons, if you have one in particular?
Ooh. I would honestly go with season 4, just because I got to experience it. But I think maybe episode 10 in season 4. I think there was a lot to like unpack in that episode, and you got a lot of you just got a lot in that with Tori seeing the whole silver thing happening, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot to like reveal in that episode that I think is like very important, and it's exciting to see like what will happen in season 5 with all of that.
Yeah, for sure. That's that cliffhanger. I mean, that was another surprise with the Silver Crease stuff was surprising if you just think of their relationship as generally, but like you can see something unpacking there between them as the season went on. But that was crazy. This is funny, this next question, because this is from someone called Nate. And he's asked, how many Nates tall are you?
That's a good question. That's funny. Okay, so I'm 5'3", so I guess I'm only like 1 8 tall. I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
like
don't know how tall Nathaniel O is, but I think you guys are from that image. You guys are like the
around,
same height roughly.
right.
So
I think they had me in like 2 or 3 inch heels, so I think he might have been a couple inches taller than me. But yeah, we were around the same height.
Okay, we kind of already spoke about this, but like if there's more than one character apart from Sam, like who are like your favorite characters from the show?
Ooh, I really like Tori. I just like to see how she's growing as a character. Also, I would say, trying to think. I like Johnny. I think he is such a fun character. Like, oh my goodness, he's just like funny. Every scene that he's in, like I know it's gonna be good. So definitely say those 2.
Yeah, I mean those. I mean, I love Johnny from the start. He's just amazing, right? Just the interactions he has, especially that 6th episode in season 4, and
Oh my gosh, yes.
he's like, what was it? Fluids. Yeah, fluids are crucial. Yeah, he's asexual. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a way. He's just stuck in his ways. It's just really funny.
right.
But yeah, and I think he's always going to be a fan favorite. I mean, how can you not love Johnny with the way he is? So, okay, this is definitely an interesting one. Okay, so Tori and Miguel or Miguel and Sam?
Ooh.
Who do you think is truly better for Miguel?
Oh my gosh. You know, I liked both of them together because I think that it brought out a little bit of something in him that he needed. But I like Miguel and Sam. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know everybody's opinion on that, but I think that they're really good together, and I think that Sam's like kindness and just like her approach to things is really good for Miguel.
Right. I think they kind of match each other better than
Right.
Miguel and Tori. And like Tori and Robby, they definitely have like more understanding, especially the way their lives have kind of come to be. So I agree. I think that's probably a better kind of a better dynamic and a
Right.
better relationship for them both and just to grow together. But you never know. I mean, if any other love interests come in their way and just to see how that affects their relationship, that
Exactly.
would be the teenage drama again, right?
Right, exactly.
So Hannah, it's been so fun talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
For sure. Where can people find you if they want to like
Yeah.
follow what you're doing?
So my Instagram is just at Hannah.Defler. So you can follow me on there. I also have a Twitter. I don't really use it much, but you can also follow me on that. It's just, I think it's HH Defler, and you spell Defler Defler, for anybody wondering.
All right, sweet. I am signing off now. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, because we do loads more interviews on the channel, as you may already know. But if you are new, then welcome. We will see you guys next time, and take care. Have a great day.
Thank you.